friends, here we have with us Deshnee, and we are absolutely delighted to have you on this podcast. I think what people really would like to hear and what we know from you and of you is there's an aspect of you about give back, also very largely. But Vedanta Delhi Half Marathon, 4th edition, and we hope that this year you can join us in the flag off, if not in the run. We all are working towards a cause, Deshnee, and we really want to hear from you about, while you're in Vedanta is one part, but personally about social impact, causes, because marathons make movements, and today with Nandkar and Taco, we are pledging 5 million meals to either children or animals. So, want to hear from you about this entire philosophy of give back, Vedanta, and absolutely delighted that you're with us in this edition.
Fantastic to be here, Ritu, and thank you so much for inviting me to share some of my views. And just listening to what you've just said in terms of the impact that the half marathon has, this is one of the reasons I'm here. I think very few mining natural resources companies can truly say that we do so much more for society than just produce the metals and the natural resources that society needs too. So from the give back point of view, I've always resonated with our company's purpose. And that's one of the reasons I joined all the way back in 2014. And even when I left in 2020, it's one of the reasons that I kept thinking about this business, because no one does purpose like the way we do. And no one does purpose in terms of how we embed it in everything we do. So coming back and kind of seeing some of the additional work like the half marathon that we've been the sponsor of, now this will be the 4th year, is quite something. Because if I look at the magnitude and the impact that something like this has, it's truly life-changing. So, you then said, Ritu, what do I do? A little bit about me, right? I am Deshnee Naidoo. I am 49 years old. I am the mother of 3 amazing daughters, Sharissa, age 25, Kshalia, age 20, and Priyanka, age 18. So very proud of my 3 daughters, and I love the fact that I have 3 daughters who are basically spearheading in their own respective areas of education as well as work. A little bit about what I do. So firstly, on the marathon, we really want to be there on the 12th. I know we have various things to do, but whether I'm there in person or in spirit, I'll be running because I think it's for an amazing cause. But from a health point of view, as we get older in life, I think health is something that actually truly humbles you.
Sure.
Because when you're younger, you think that you can do it.
Yeah.
And you can strain yourself. And then when you're older, and as I've realized maybe over the last 5 years, that health has been more kind of front and center of mind. So what I do for fitness, outside of the regular gym sessions, I do a lot of yoga. And yoga is my thing. And not just any yoga, but I do a lot of Bikram hot yoga as well. Mm-hmm. And the idea of sitting down in a dark room to my own thoughts and meditation is incredibly liberating.
You said something very interesting about this, about spending some me time. So when people prepare for marathons, people prepare for everybody wants a stress-free life. But in the corporate world, we have, literally, if I may say, no work-life balance in many cases. But something that you've just now imbibed, what is it that you tell everyone? Because we also hear that you're an early riser, right? So what is the mantra? Is it waking up early? Is it the exercise? Is it discipline from an attribute point of view? So what is that one thing is not good to do but a must-have?
Yeah. So I don't believe in work-life balance. I believe in work-life integration. It's something I've said for over a decade now. And why do I say that? Because everything you just mentioned is needed in some moderation for your soul. It's not one or the other. Mm-hmm. So what do I mean by work-life integration? For me to be successful, I need to be a good mother, I need to be a good wife, I need to be someone that actually takes care of myself, and I need to do my job. Okay? So I never stop doing any of those roles for 24/7. But what I then do is decide on which part of my day do I dial in and dial out of certain parts of it, right? So over the years, what I've come up with is maybe my own recipe for work-life integration.
Okay.
And that's where the exercise comes in it, right? So, I've seen and I think this is data because we love data as, people of STEM. The data proves that for you to be truly productive, you've got to give more to your mind than you give to your body sometimes. So the exercise for me became more for fueling my mind, and the body was an added advantage. So Ritu,
Wow.
that's become my mantra. It's work-life integration. I focus on what fuels my mind, and it's going to take all of that, my family time, my exercise time, and my work time. And I've then figured out a recipe on what to dial in and dial out.
Outstanding. And in the recipe part, we also hear, I'm coming back to very basics, that you love cooking.
Yes, I do.
So tell us one or two favorite things that you love to cook, and then we'll come to your family because 3 daughters are very important here.
Absolutely. So it's amazing how I thought these were secrets, but clearly they're not. So I do love cooking, and it's the love for cooking started when my girls were babies, actually, because I've always been a very busy mom, a mom that was never at home, but I used to use food as a connection point. So even when I was not with the girls, that they would still eat my food and remember their mom. So that's how it started.
Wow.
Right? And then I cook, of course, what my kids love eating. So I know there's a lot of curiosity about my roots. I am South African, of Indian origin, of course. So we still eat and cook a lot of very healthy curries back home. And it can be anything from the very traditional, maybe tatka dals, to the dal makhanis, to the biryanis. So if you want to ask me what actually gets the family together, is when mom cooks a big pot of biryani and invites people over for dinner.
Outstanding. And but on your really high day, like now, this is my happy day, my weekend day.
Yeah.
What is that 1 or 2 things that you'd love to cook for the family?
Oh, then it'll be more the roast and the lasagnas and that kind of thing, right? The comfort food, the
Okay.
lasagnas, the Italian. Yeah, if you want go for comfort, then you go big, you go Italian.
Got it. And I think this is a very strong bond when you say a family, right? So when you do your yoga, and I'm coming back to the whole piece on mental health,
Yeah.
what is it that you would teach your children? One, of course, you're walking the talk. What is it that they imbibe from you in terms of, are they gym people? Are they yoga people? Because always it's nice, the youngsters continue to deliberate.
Absolutely, absolutely. So first thing, I'm going to let you in a little secret on the yoga. So that's only become a very big thing in my life over the last 2 years.
Okay.
And I started it 5 years ago, but 2 years where it became very active routine. Because I'm this busy, I've actually encouraged my husband to do yoga with me.
Oh, wow.
So we then go out to classes, etc. And that's become a very amazing kind of wife and husband thing to do. So maybe that's something for everyone to think about, Time is short. Combine it with family in terms of how you can do this, get your me time and your family time together. My daughters are all squash players. So they all play
All three?
all 3 of them, and they actually 2 of them play squash for the universities that they are in as well.
Wow, they must be super fit.
They are, you can imagine, squash.
Yeah.
My husband used to play squash as well. So we've really tried to create a family where exercise is part of who we are, rather than exercise is something that you do on the side of the... And again, if I want to make this really effective, so if Priyanka's, out in the Peloton in the basement, as soon as she comes up, I know that mom has to make the banana and peanut butter kind of smoothie for her, right?
Right.
And then we all end up having a smoothie for breakfast. So that's the way you kind of integrate it.
Another thing I'll ask you, because we've been talking to a lot of people who say, you said a banana smoothie, but people talk about a lot of protein intake, right? And there's a lot of, and I cannot use the word synthetic, but a lot of curated pieces that come along. So would you go for natural, or you're also going for supplements? Because all the marathon people or the walking people or fitness people want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I do both. I mean, on the supplement side, in that smoothie we make for Priyanka and ourselves, I will definitely put a teaspoon or a tablespoon of some of the protein whey. Absolutely, because your body will always take what it gets, but I think it's your job to also, replenish.
Nurture it.
So I will do both. And I'm very conscious. I mean, again, maybe this is an age thing, Ritu. I become far more conscious now to read labels. I can't believe I've become one of those people.
True.
But just to kind of sense check about what we're putting in our bodies. all the time for exactly the reason that you're saying. Just to make sure that I believe you can do anything
Right.
in moderation, but make sure that you are kind of being cognizant about what you do first, second, and third from an intake point of view.
Yeah. Because you travel a lot, lots of countries, lots of places. Which place really, and I'm saying this, drives you? Which food really drives you?
I like Indian food because I love spice.
Favorite restaurant?
Oh, all over the world. But I mean, from going to London, the Dishrooms, everywhere. I mean, every place I'd have a favorite Indian restaurant. But I also love Asian food. So I really love Thai food.
Wow.
So I have Thai restaurants all over the world that I'd love going to. So if you want to get me excited, take me to a really good Asian restaurant. Because I think ever since I can remember, I associate spice with comfort.
Fantastic. So there's another thing. Now, in India, places are getting really, our living spaces are getting very smaller, congested, But I'm hoping that where you are in Toronto, you have open spaces. So are you an indoor person or an outdoor person?
I am typically an indoor person, but my space needs to be creative, right? So I'm all into designing spaces. I wouldn't say study, more like a library, a spot at the corner of my study that becomes my go-to place. So simply put, I would be in front of my computer, but when I want to change my environment, I just sit on the couch in that corner spot amongst books that just help you to calm yourself down. So I've learned that over the years, right? But you picked on something. Since going to Canada, the land of a lot of space, I do now make cognizant or do take time to do those walks out. Something else to do with my husband. My husband is my best friend. So he comes out and does the walks with me in some of the nature trails, etc. But it's our work, right? It's not always convenient to step out and get that walk done and get the steps done. So learn to be creative about your spaces inside your home.
So there's another leader actually who said that I love to spend my evening walk because I don't do a morning walk.
Yes.
With my spouse.
Yeah.
And I think this is a really great example for everyone to spend quality time with their partner.
Absolutely.
By whether it's a yoga, whether it's an evening walk, whatever works, but something for that bonding time.
Absolutely. And depending, and you know what I love about those walks? They can be a little aimless.
Yeah.
Like, because at work, we're so targeted, we're so focused. Everything needs to have an end point.
That's right.
Yeah, so some days I walk with him and I said, let's not think about it. Let's just walk until we can't walk anymore. That's
outstanding.
Amazing.
Outstanding. That's an outstanding line. But on the days there are no targets, right? What does Deshnee Naidoo do on her leisure day, the day there are no targets, no balance sheets? Nothing?
Yeah, so after we hit either the gym or the yoga studio, right? Yeah, I'm a woman. Retail therapy. I'm going to own that.
Okay.
And I love shopping, again with purpose. Like my husband says, he's never met someone who can do so much in such a short space of time at a mall.
Okay.
And I think it's, again, 3 daughters, right? It's become our thing too. Take the daughters, go out for a meal, go out to a mall. And of course, I love seeing what's there, but I love more just making sure that I kind of get it out of my system. Doesn't happen as often as I would like to, so that's why you got to do a bigger impact when you get out there, but a bit of retail therapy. And then for recreation, yes, because there's been a lot of these like pottery and art studios.
Yeah.
I love going into one of these little studios, taking one of these ceramic things, painting it, baking it. It's something I do with my daughters as well.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so everyone hasn't tried this. Please try it.
Yes.
It's very therapeutic. And now, because time is always of the essence, I can't go paint something big.
Have you made something which you brought back?
Haven't made it, but a lot of these studios now have like these ceramic, be it little plates, little mugs, etc. And you can go paint it and, get very creative. There's something very special about creating. Maybe this is why I love work I do, because we get to build projects. We get to create when there wasn't anything. And in a very small way, a mug that was faceless now has a bit of me on it, which is quite nice to see.
Actually, that's true. My brother always says that. Because he does pottery and I keep ribbing him for that.
Now, Ritu, you're going to go out there and try this and give your brother the benefit of the doubt.
And I will tell you that it did mean something or not. But you're right, creating something with your own hands.
Amazing,
Imagine.
which I guess is so much linked to how this conversation started
About
Nangar and giving
give
back.
Yeah,
That's-
about purpose.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. The other important thing is that for people to have, like you have 3 daughters, there are 60,000 plus employees here.
Yes.
What is the attributes that you would want your children to have? Something that people should definitely have. The 2 or 3 things, and I talk about just not a behavioral thing, but an attribute, so that people can say, to be successful, to be a Deshnee Naidoo, these are the 2 or 3 things that I need to do.
Wow, that's powerful, and something that I've been very kind of conscious of, right? Because, when I took the decision many, many years ago to give my career it all, right? My husband and I made a pact back then that he would actually step away from his corporate job to allow me to pursue mine. Okay? Because that's what partnership is all about.
Sure.
And the reason I say it is because we are very conscious that even though we were both going to be successful, we didn't want it to come at the expense of our 3 young daughters then.
Sure.
So my children's values system is everything to me. I need to know that I'm bringing up young, powerful women in this world that don't only care for themselves, but care more for the impact that they have on others. So this giving back is something that we've cascaded onto them. I also wanted to make sure, because of everything we've done on kind of my route on woman empowerment, or the lack thereof at the start of my career, and now it's fantastic to work with someone like the chairman who basically enforces woman empowerment.
Yeah.
I've also made sure that from an attribute point of view, my kids take the empowerment. No one's going to give it to them.
Wow.
And they basically own every situation that they're in. And their father and myself have been very conscious to make sure that our children never feel constrained because of the background and who they are and what they're capable of. So owning a situation is incredibly important for me. And I think linked to that, we've also made sure that our kids never depend on anyone. I think because traditionally, gone are the days where you got to marry.
Of course.
Yeah, if they want to marry, fantastic. But they don't
Yeah.
have to, because they're not dependent on anyone. So we've made sure that we bring up very strong women, strong-headed, but for themselves.
Yeah.
And to make sure that they can cascade that.
Are you talking both emotional dependency and financial independence?
I
Both?
think more the financial, because, I love my husband. I'm emotionally dependent on him, and that's okay. And that's needed. That's my fuel.
Yeah.
So that's not a bad thing.
Absolutely, that's not a no. Agreed, but it's good to know, because what also happens, you have been very lucky to have a partner who understands,
Yes.
right? And you married a friend, but there are situations. So it's nice for everyone to know the 2-3 very important things, and one of them is getting yourself absolutely independent.
Absolutely. And my kids, I think they've often told my husband and I that it's quite extraordinary, because they've seen their friends, etc. Quite extraordinary that they have parents that love each other that much, because it gives them a lot to actually look forward to in terms of the relationships that they will go on to have.
Strong, very, very hard benchmark for them in today's generation.
And and you know what? That's the one thing I think even I've had to work on, right? It's so easy.
course.
It's so easy to try and be the boss at home too.
Yeah.
I've had to resist the urge because back home it's a partnership.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit, Deshnee, because I know that mines, minerals, everywhere, because there are a lot of women who'd want to hear this, are surrounded and are filled with men, right? And when you walk into that boardroom or you walk into the shop floor, how does it feel? And is there any single advice that you'd like to give to young women on how should they feel or what should they do to, because I've seen a lot of them desperately want to blend in.
Yeah. A bit of both, right? So firstly, the world needs everyone in it to thrive.
Sure.
I think as much as I'm advocating for women empowerment, we got to make sure that we take everyone along with us.
Sure.
Okay, so we're not going to do women empowerment the way kind of male patriarchy was done.
Yeah,
We're going to
of
do it in a
course.
far more inclusive way. And I say that because as much as I want women to feel safe and to do what they need to, they've got to take men along with them. Okay? But saying that, how do we make sure that women not only have psychological safety, because that comes from us. We need to create environments this way. But a woman needs to make sure that she feels confident enough in her subject matter to hold her own in any conversation. Okay? Mm-hmm. Now, what does that mean? It means that, for now, because we have made progress. If I look at my career 20 years ago and where we are today, I have made progress. She needs to work on certain things just a little bit more, just to make sure that she is building that confidence when she needs it, right? Most. That's step one. Step two, which I think right now, both men and women, there's so many more allies, right? So she needs to make sure that she builds the allyship around her for that support, both with men and women. And step three is, I talk about allyship inside, but on the outside, she needs to make sure that she's supported within the right way. Family support, external support, because the one thing a woman needs to be effective in her job is that peace of mind.
Yeah.
And that peace of mind can only come knowing that you are supported outside. So, external, I always call it cultural, societal support, which is not easy, right? Because some of our cultures and societies have still not moved on. I mean, we talk about boundaries inside, but we got boundaries outside too. Inside, her confidence comes from her knowledge and she needs to leverage it. And she's going to have to be supported by the allyship that she builds with both men and women.
Yes, coexistence, everybody together, inclusivity.
Absolutely. And I keep advocating for that, Ritu, because it is so easy to say just push women forward. We will not be successful, or we will not be as successful.
I agree with you there. I couldn't agree with you more. So Deshnee Naidoo's favorite book?
At the moment, I've got so many, right, the classics. But at the moment, I'm still reading Diary of the CEO.
Oh.
Because I love learning from other leaders as well. So yeah, I'm currently reading many stories from Diary of the CEO.
You said also a little bit somewhere listening to music.
Depends. I went to a concert 2 weeks ago, so now and I'm giving away my age here, people.
Who did you go to listen to?
Yeah, UB40.
Oh, nice.
Because I was so surprised to see that they have you might have seen him, Ritu, because they're from the UK. Yeah. And Matt Doyle, the new lead singer in his early 30s, I was absolutely blown away and kind of, I think, taken back to my early teens when I was listening to UB40 whilst at university. So, yeah, currently listening to UB40 again because I've rekindled something with this band a couple of weeks ago.
Outstanding. And the other thing that when people think of doing marathons or walking out, youngsters always, and which is a nice thing, always concentrate so much on the gear, right? What would your advice be? I mean, on that, while feeling good, looking good is important, but, like you said, keep moving, keep doing something.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is for purpose and a cause.
Yeah.
I think maybe the advice is, make it a bit more kind of fit for purpose. In terms of what we are doing this time around. So listen, I said I love retail therapy, but there's ways of actually loving retail therapy with cause. So coming back to my label fetish with food, I also have a label fetish on clothes. I want to know that my clothes are sustainably made.
Sure, absolutely.
So we can still look good. You can still have the swag.
Yeah.
But make sure that you're paying a little bit more attention to the sustainability of that garment.
So another one personal one. I've seen you wearing really nice glasses all the time. Are they specific? Do you match them, or do you just? How does that work?
Now you've picked on another fetish.
Yes,
I do have that fetish. When I was younger,
every time I've seen you're wearing a absolutely more fabulous pair of glasses.
Exactly, it's my thing. So it's so my personality, right? I need to wear glasses because I cannot see anymore. And it's worse as I got older, and now it's gone to progressives. I can't see near and far, it seems, these days. But I want to look good doing it. So that is why I've made wearing glasses a fashion statement.
Great. I'm not going to ask you how many pairs, though.
There's a few. But, because the eyes get bad so often, now there's too many to keep updated. But yes.
Okay, so Deshnee, thank you very much for exploring a little bit more personal about you, which people don't get to hear. But a message for everyone here, employees who can be all over the world. How can they contribute? And for the ones who can be here, there will be at least 1,500 plus employees running that day on race day, where we are going to have fun. There'll be a flag off, there'll be a marquee. Believe it or not, there'll be dholwalas, there'll be bhangrawalas, there'll be motivational zones, and a lot of fun. But we will not forget our purpose, and like you said, as chairman has defined for us, but what is that one message for all employees?
Yeah, I think firstly, just listening to you, there's something there about having fun in fulfilling our purpose, which sounds like that day will be exactly it. But you know what? We're a one Vedanta virtual family.
Yeah.
So there's nothing stopping us, no matter where we are on that particular day, to show a little bit of solidarity, both in terms of being virtually active. And I know this year we have the fundraising.
Yes.
And we can absolutely make a difference by making a contribution, because it's going to have such a big impact to the lives of both children as well as to the animals that we will be supporting for the cause. So keep the one Vedanta virtual family strong on the day. Let's show our solidarity both in person as well as virtually. We can do that.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Join us on the 12th of October for the marathon. Join us for Zero Hunger.
Chalo Delhi, Delhi, chalo. Chalo, 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 Delhi, chalo.